Hello and welcome to Blue Girls Video Podcast. I was just recording the video, and then I got a phone call, and I was like, oh well, I'll just, it was a short phone call. Right? I was waiting for a call. And so then I remembered, oh shit, I gave them my address. So I was like, oh boy, so I have to do it all over again. It's not that funny. It's kind of scary, right? But anyway, so I have dreams for you, January 2021. And the first one is thank you. I'm going to try to add February 2021, but I don't know if I can get it in. I've been trying not to rush myself because then I don't pronounce some words right. I get too... Okay, so thank you. This one young girl was sitting on a couch in her room. A boy with brown eyes and brown hair is sitting next to her. The boy's father is around, and the young girl sneaks out the back door. I recall thinking, you didn't even say thank you. Something odd in the dream. The girl took off her underwear, so maybe she had a nightgown on. Okay. Then the dream switches, and I think I appear in the dream. I was underground, possibly in a crevice, and when I crawl out of crevice, see all these rocks and beautiful scenery. I seem to not know what it's going to look like when crawling out of crevice. So this is this was dated. It's in January 2021. Oh, actually, December 28, 2020. But, and it's being recorded on February 2023, and it's going to be posted sometime in 2024. So, I think at the end, I don't know anymore. So, I did end up living, I'm trying to think of where I was in December 28, 2021. I thought that I moved to this one place where they had all these crevices that was close to where I lived. And I was like, I could see mountains, like walk outside. So that was kind of cool. They were desert mountains, but still that's kind of cool to have that as a background. Not, just walk around a little bit, a couple minutes, and there's a mountain right there. So that's kind of cool. Then I was walking around town again, but this was a slightly bigger town than the couple of businesses on the side of the road. Nothing looks familiar. Okay, so when I'm saying a couple of businesses on the side of the road, when I lived in the Southwest, they would have, the small towns, they would have, like on the side of the road, they would have like a string full of businesses, so... Okay, so the next dream is long bus ride. I was on this public bus, and it was a very long bus ride to wherever I was going. The bus driver was a male driver. I remember getting off the bus and looking across the street to see where the bus stop was located. Then I was inside a hotel. Or an apartment, and answered the door to some kids who were possibly India descent. It was a boy and another kid. Their parents were both working in the office, and I am wondering if it's a hotel. Library room. Okay, a woman with dark wavy hair was sitting at a table in a library room with others. It was one of those rooms where people go to study. No computers in the room. She had possibly a binder and notebook and was working on a project. This part of the dream reminds me of how I document Blue Girl's dream journal in real life by using different methods to document. Also, I see Meredith Baxter in the dream. So yes, I used to I've documented my dreams for like 12 years now, I think. May 4th of 2010. So, but they're really pretty short now, so I don't even have like a journal anymore, like to document them, because I just write them down. I just type them in now. So anyway, so the next dream is going to be trying to make me late. So January 2nd, trying to make me late, and then January 3rd, lie. I have two bedrooms, or no, two dreams. One was the other night. My friend, beginning with the letter A, was around in the dream. I was getting on a trolley as it was moving. Then last night, there was a young woman who was supposed to meet her relatives later. She met her friend M at some place where there were a lot of people. I was planning on staying there alone for like most of the night, but my friend thought it was too long. So later, the young woman is at a couple of old guys' places. In the dream, I can see one of the old guys standing by his stove in his kitchen. The young woman brought them a 4-pack of iced coffee. Too trusting. God told me a couple of days ago he wasn't supposed to be in the building. So what was going on? This is like January 9th, 2021. And it's been recorded February 2023, and it's going to be published in May of 24. So anyway, God told me a couple days ago he wasn't supposed to be in the building. Okay, so basically what's going on in real life was this apartment became available, and I wanted to move there, but then I looked up and I've done this before, I've looked up the building, you look at the reviews to see what, and so what happened was I found a news article regarding something that happened there, some violence. And so the guy was not supposed to be in the building. So I did not take the apartment because I thought, well, it doesn't sound real safe, because if he wasn't supposed to be in the building, then who else isn't supposed to be in the building? Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it was a very violent act. And so I didn't take the apartment. Then last night I had a dream. I was with a young woman, maybe a teenager, and for some reason I had authority over her, and she asked me if she could take something and bring it back the next day. I was like, sure. I found this out because I think it was an item of a store that was working at, so you're not really supposed to do that unless it's paid. So I recall being worried in my dream. So I don't know, it could have been some book or something she borrowed. I strongly doubt it's something in the store. But, it just kind of doesn't really make sense. Go ahead, steal that item, but bring it back tomorrow. So no, it was probably something else, Then I got a call from my aunt, deceased. I recall her leaving a long message from her. I haven't had any dreams about her since she passed away in February. I write with tears in my eyes. I do not recall the content of this message. So the thing is, I wish that they had it where, like you could save, messages of, of family members or whatever, because, you've, just because, sometimes it's kind of comforting, and and it would be nice to have something like that, kind of like a last message. I wouldn't listen to it all the time, but, I've heard that, that people who are from the 9/11 thing, excuse me, I don't be respectful. I did go to the 9/11 memorial thing there, but I did hear that people the museum, I did hear that people, that's what happens when I try to do too much now. I'm getting too old to be multitasking. People did save, they have videos or whatever, just of people's last words with loved ones, family members, friends. So anyway, it would be nice to have something like that where you could just kind of save something permanently without not have to worry about it deleting. But anyway, then I was somewhere at a place, possibly a homeless place or hostel, not sure. I just remember bunk beds, and right near the bunk beds were these huge wooden storage facilities with a lot of people's suitcases. Childish is the next dream. January 12th, 2021. They have no right to do that. January 14th, 2021. Childish. There was a young woman, and this guy was giving her a hard time because she paid $300 for something. She was supposed to take a placement test for math, but missed the day. She really didn't want to take the test. Then there was this woman with semi-curly dark hair and dark eyes who had a mean look in her eye as she looked at this young woman. They seemed to be in competition for some reason. They were debating on whose grandma made the most money. Now for the paranormal. Oh, also, before I forget, last night I was up till 3 or 4, and a little after 3, I was lying down on my bed facing the window when all of a sudden something, an entity or whatever, sat on the side of my bed near my upper body. I think it was a man, and he seemed kind of stiff like Frankenstein. That's the only dream I've had where there's that I can remember somebody stiff like, Frankenstein. He wasn't like that, but I then waved my arms around. This entity sat to see if I could feel a physical presence. I could not. I never can. I don't know why I would do that. However, a small part of my back felt warmth in an area. So sometimes, if there's some kind of physical pain, I've noticed that I get some warmth from an entity or whatever the F it is, on the body part that's sore. A young woman just got off a bus and can see her looking at a bus schedule, which was a physical map on it. She went to another woman's place, but when she got there, the woman who was supposed to help her chose another woman. Later, she is sleeping on a twin bed in a bedroom, and she hears a couple having sex in another dream. She might be there temporarily because she seemed to be concerned about her mail piling up while she is gone. Okay, so that is the end of January 2020. Former characters. I had several dreams, but can't remember them all. They weren't that vivid, I think, since my dreams are so far in between that I will start putting my dream journal next to me so I can remember them fresh in the morning. I did this many years ago. At the end of the dream, I am seeing the characters Gabrielle Renee O'Connor and Zena Lucy Lawless. This dream goes back into time, and can see them on how they look when played their characters. They are not acting in this dream, but just kind of hanging out. For some reason, I'm thinking about how both Renee O'Connor and Lucy Lawless' bodies have changed throughout the years until the present day. Well, I wouldn't really know that. I meant they used to be a lot more, well, not a lot, but somewhat more buff. I have more buff than I'll ever be. So, but they still look good, I think. Oh, now I remember a young woman, or me, an older woman, was in this dream. I was sitting outside on the ground with other students. I had a thick book with me. I'm thinking Gone with the Wind, which is, I don't know, almost 1,000 pages, or one of Charles Dickens's books, both lengthy books. Charles Dickens is my favorite author. My favorite short story, well, the story in general, is Young Goodman Brown by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I don't know why I would like that. I mean, it's it's kind of about good and evil and almost like witchcraft, which I'm not into. But there was something about it when I read it as a teenager. I might have been early 20s. I think it was a teenager, though. There was something about it that I liked. I don't know why. Maybe it was some kind of, I thought of a past life. Who knows? That's all I can kind of really think. I don't know. Because I don't practice witchcraft. I'm not a witch. So it feels like Santa Fe, the Southwest warmer climate. I also recall thinking that I had to read the required book in one day, which doesn't make much sense. Then the teacher lets everyone into the classroom. Knife. Last night and tonight, I have been sensing some kind of entity in my room, and I usually try to hide underneath my covers, and around 13 through the 15th, or saying there was also a present. What? Stop. There's nobody here. But last night and tonight, I said words to stay away from me and use my blanket to lash out at whatever was in front of me. So then I saw something shiny and silver. A knife appeared in front of me. Oh my God, then disappeared. All I saw was the end of the blade. I didn't remember this, but now I vaguely do. I think that's the only time in which that has happened, but that's scary. January 24th, 2021. A very small town is the next one. A young couple are on the bus with their baby boy, and later the baby boy is in the front room. Hello? Sit down. It's okay, honey. There's nobody there. It's okay. With his toys. I sense the woman isn't really good with the boy and see her smacking him in the head. Later, I think maybe people are gathering. Say hello. It's a bar. He's cleaning himself now. Alrighty. So the next dream is, I don't know what the next dream is. A very small town. Long Bridge is the next one. I had a dream that I was traveling through possibly Florida and recall seeing a sign that said Orlando. I'm not for sure if I was on some right or what, but there was stormy water when we crossed this long bridge. Then we had possibly a stopover, and there were all these young 20-somethings around, and I kept physically moving around a lot. I remember thinking that no one was wearing masks or practiced social distancing. Then there was this black security officer who had checked a couple of black girls by having them put their arms in the air and turning around. Well, they do that to everybody. I don't know why I'm saying that, but that's what I saw in the dream. I just remember moving around a lot, even though I saw a sign for Orlando, not for sure if it was correct. I also remember seeing some kind of spreadsheet saying it must be Corona. I don't know. Anyway, okay, I don't remember much of this dream other than my youngest brother was around and we were in his car at nighttime. Okay, so uppity is the next dream. Oh, there it is. Okay, I just want to make sure. I guess some woman was paying a very small amount each month, like $13, which I didn't know about. The woman was kind of uppity and had her hair up in a bun like. I was walking around these grounds of this enormous building along, almost like a castle. It kind of reminds me of the place like in the movie Down a Dark Hall. Oh, I am... Hey, yours. Oh, I am also thinking of some ancestry heritage that I dug up regarding the American Woolen Company. Orphanage. African American dread guy. Oh, wow, I fucking dream. Oh, I had a dream that I was on a public bus in the Twin Cities and an African American guy with long, dark grayish dreads. Grayish. Was sitting in the back of the bus with his Caucasian girlfriend. Even though I don't remember what the girlfriend looked like, she was there. Also, I went to go visit an old friend of mine, Jay, from my early 20s. I just saw an image of Samuel Jackson prior to dream, also displaying Blue Girl's attempt at dreads. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I tried dreading my own hair, which was like horrible. I mean, I went over to a friend's place. And his girlfriend was like, your hair looks really bad. Are you trying to dread it? I think she said. It was horrible. It just would not work with the straight English hair. It just would not work. And it did not look good on me. But So, okay, so there's more. I had another paranormal experience as I was lying in bed trying to nap when I heard a dog bark. Never heard that before. Then I felt a dog walking on my bed and sitting kind of by my feet. I would love to have a dog or a cat someday. Um, um, yeah, I've had like dogs jump on the bed. I've sensed like dogs jumping on the bed while I'm lying in bed, and but never bark. So that was kind of weird. So the next dream is going to be moving. A young woman has all of her items packed in her boxes in her one floor flat. In the evening, her brother and his friends are on the way to move her stuff. Then I see her place empty. Something about how she paid rent in the first week, but still was moving shortly afterwards. Oh, I almost forgot. Last night, a young woman came to me while I in bed and whispered in my ear, "Yay!" The night before, I heard a dog bark and then got it onto my bed and sit by my feet. So then tonight, oh, I know what that is. Okay, so frat house. A young woman was sleeping on a twin bed near an open window in a frat house. She woke up kind of late, which usually doesn't happen to her. The young woman moved to another apartment in the same building, but the new apartment wasn't much better. The manager wanted to relay to a friend this information. Then there was several students walking around in the frat house. There were some kind of huge statue near a wall. Later, there are all these chairs in a room for some kind of meeting. Former friend. Yeah, this is the last one. I had a dream about a guy with dark brown hair and eyes who lived in a very large house, not a mansion, but pretty nice. I then recall in great detail the physical appearance of my former friend S. He was younger and sitting in a chair. Okay, so that is it. Thank Jesus. I'm a little tired today. I think he's tired too. You tired too? Say goodbye. I think he's a little tired. Okay, well, thank you for watching.